皆さん、また来てくださってありがとうございます。こちらはマンハッタンニューヨーク土曜日の午後です。今日はね、雨が降っててちょっとね、なんかもうミゼラブルな感じです。ということでね、今日の動画はね、全然トランプさんとかバイデンとか関係なく、前から乗っけたかったのがあったんですね。タッカーカールソンとプーチンのインタビューなんですよ。それで、今まで一度もね、プーチンさんの口からいろんな話を聞いたことがなかったんですよ。で、私はわからないし、独裁国家の人ですから、自国民を暗殺したりとかも、本当にもうひどいやつだっていう感じで、習近平と同じだろうっていう感じで思ってたんですけど、全然違ってたんですね。で、私、去年の7月の27日ぐらいの動画で、RFKjrの動画を上げたんですよね。で、どうしても RFKjrの話を聞きたくて、タウンミーティングに行ったんですよ。その時に RFKjrがロシアをすごく悪く言うけど、結局挑発したのもアメリカと NATO なら、ロシアが撤退したにもかかわらずそこに追い打ちをかけて約束を保護にしたのも NATO とアメリカだよって言って、結構ハニティさんがアメリカが悪いって言うんですかみたいな感じでなって、私本当に全然知らなかったんですね。ただRFKjrは冷戦の後のずっと国務長官との話し合いとかをずっと知っているので、その話をずっとされてたんですよ。でと思って、でそれは RFKjrからしか聞いたことがない事実だったので、なるほどと思いながらも、ちょっとそうなのって思ってたんですね。ところが今回タッカー・カールソンがプーチンに聞いた時に全く同じこと言ってたんですよ。それですごいなと思って。で、ジュニアも言ってたんですけど、ロシアはもともとすごい少ない軍隊を出してきたと。つまりはこの国を取るとか侵攻じゃなくってアメリカに中に入ってくれっていうメッセージだったんだって。それで平和締結のミンスクコートっていう合意にサインした。それを追い打ちをかけてぶっ壊したのも NATO とアメリカだって言ったんですよ。だからと思って、そしたら同じことを言ってて、でなんか今までの私のイメージだと独裁国家だから習近平とか同じような感じだと思ってたんですね。でも実はプーチンさんはなんかね、すごくアメリカとコールドワー冷戦後は西欧諸国となんとか関係を構築しようと努力してきたってすごい言ってたんですね。ってことでとりあえず見てください。どうぞ。
Meeting here in the Kremlin with the outgoing President Bill Clinton, right here in the next room. I said to him, I asked him, Bill, do you think if Russia asked to join NATO, do you think it would happen? Suddenly he said, it's interesting. I think so. But in the evening, when we met for dinner, he said, I've talked to my team. No, it's not possible now. You can ask him. I think he will watch our interview. He'll confirm it. I wouldn't have said anything like that if it hadn't happened. Okay.
Were you sincere?
It's impossible now.
Would you have joined NATO?
Look, I asked the question, is it possible or not? And the answer I got was no. If I was insincere in my desire to find out what the leadership position was...
But if he had said yes, would you have joined NATO?
If he had said yes, the process of rapprochement would have commenced, and eventually it might have happened if we had seen some sincere wish on the other side of our partners. But it didn't happen. Well, no means no. Okay, fine.
Why do you think that is? Just to get to motive. I know you're clearly bitter about it. I understand. But why do you think the West rebuffed you then? Why the hostility? Why did the end of the Cold War not fix the relationship? What motivates this from your point of view?
We just realized we weren't welcome there, that's all. Okay, fine. But let's build relations in another manner. Let's look for common ground elsewhere. Why we received such a negative response, you should ask your leaders. I can only guess why. Nevertheless, after that we tried to build relations in different ways. For example, the events in the Middle East, in Iraq. We were building relations with the United States in a very soft, prudent, cautious manner. I repeatedly raised the issue that the United States should not support separatism or terrorism in the North Caucasus, but they continue to do it anyway. And political support, information support, financial support, even military support came from the United States and its satellites for terrorist groups in the Caucasus. I once raised this issue with my colleague, also the President of the United States. He says, "It's impossible. Do you have proof?" I said, "Yes." I was prepared for this conversation, and I gave him that proof. He looked at it, and you know what he said? "I apologize, but that's what happened." I'll quote. He says, "Well, I'm gonna kick their ass." We waited and waited for some response. There was no reply. I said to the FSB director, "Write to the CIA, what is the result of the conversation with President?" He wrote once, twice, and then we got a reply. We have the answer in the archive. The CIA replied, "We have been working with the opposition in Russia. We believe that this is the right thing to do, and we will keep on doing it." Just ridiculous. Well, okay. We realized that it was out of the question.
Forces in opposition to you. So you're saying the CIA is trying to overthrow your government?
Ну, конечно, имелось в виду в данном случае.
Of course, they meant in that particular case the separatists, the terrorists who fought with us in the Caucasus.
Они называли.
That's who they called the opposition.
Это вот второй момент.
This is the second
Очень
point.
важный.
The third moment is a very important one. Is the moment when the U.S. missile defense system was created.
Начало.
The beginning.
И мы долго уговаривали.
We persuaded for a long time not to do it in the United States.
Меня пригласили в
Moreover,
отец Буша
after was invited by Bush Jr.'s father, Bush Sr., to visit his place on the ocean,
Там состоялась очень серьезная беседа,
I had a very serious conversation with President Bush and his team.
чтобы
I proposed that the United States, Russia, and Europe jointly create a missile defense system that we believe,
мы считаем,
if created unilaterally, threatens our security, despite the fact that the United States officially said that it was being created against missile threats from Iran. That was the justification for the deployment of the missile defense system. I suggested working together, Russia, the United States, and Europe. They said it was very interesting. They asked me, "Are you serious?" I said, "Absolutely."
Let me ask, what year was this?
ну, я не помню, вот
I don't remember.
в интернете, когда я был.
It is easy to find out on the internet when I was in the USA at the invitation of Bush Sr. It is even easier to learn from someone I'm going to tell you about.
Мне сказали, это очень интересно.
I was told it was very interesting. I said, just imagine if we could tackle such a global strategic security challenge together. The world will change. We'll probably have disputes, probably economic and even political ones, but we could drastically change the situation in the world. He says yes, and asks, "Are you serious?" I said, "Of course. We need to think about it," I'm told.
Вот в этот кабинет.
I said, "Go ahead, please." Then Secretary of Defense Gates, former director of CIA, and Secretary of State Rice came in here, in this cabinet, right here at this table. They sat on this table. Me, the foreign minister, the Russian defense minister on that side.
Министр обороны.
They said to me,
Они мне
"Yes, we have thought about it. We agree." I said, "Thank God, great,
Но
but with some exceptions."
So twice you've described U.S. presidents making decisions and then being undercut by their agency heads. So it sounds like you're describing a system that's not run by the people who are elected in your telling.
именно так.
That's right,
Конечно,
that's
в
right.
итоге нас послали подальше. Я не буду.
In the end, they just told us to get lost. I'm not going to tell you the details because I think it's incorrect. After all, it was confidential
Наше предложение
conversation.
было отклонено.
But our proposal was declined. That's a
Тогда,
fact.
именно тогда я сказал,
It was right then when I said, "Look, but then we will be forced to take countermeasures.
будем создавать такие
We will
удары.
create such strike systems that will certainly overcome missile defense systems."
Ответ был такой. Мы
The answer was, We're not doing this against you, and you do what you want, assuming that it is not against us, not against the United States. I said, okay. Very well. That's the way it went. And we created hypersonic systems with intercontinental range, and we continue to develop them. We are now ahead of everyone, the United States and the other countries, in terms of the development of hypersonic strike systems, and we are improving them every day.